I've sewn a cardigan that's really easy to achieve. It's got beautiful puff sleeves, but there's also other options. And the color is just amazing to go with denim. So excited to share. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and today I have a cardigan to share with you. I love sewing little layers that I can wear on their own. The one I've chosen this time has lots of options, but I chose this one specifically because I want to wear it just as it is, not underneath something else. So what I'm talking about is the Reconnect cardigan from Pattern Emporium. This is a pattern that's 50% off through Saturday noon, but in Australia, over here in this area, it'll be half off until Friday night-ish. I'll leave all the information in the comment section, pinned right at the top, my affiliate link, and also in the description box. If you do like it and want to get it for yourself, you can use my link and it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just that I receive a small commission back from Kate, who owns and designs at Pattern Emporium. Now, I've already made this one before. In 2022, I made a whole different version. I chose slightly different options. There's so much to choose from here, from the lengths. You can get a really long one if you want. You can add a ruffle at the hem if you want, or just leave it plain. There's different pocket options. One that's sewn onto the side seam with a little band, and the pocket bag is sewn on there, super easy, or there's patch pockets. The band is the same for all of them. And you can do cap sleeves, you can do short sleeves, regular slim sleeves, or the star of the show here, which is the puff sleeve. Now, I took a while to warm up to the puff sleeve. I remember seeing them first, maybe 2020, 2021. And back then I thought this is just going to be a fleeting trend that's just going to be around for a little bit. But as the years have gone by, I have seen them as strong as ever. And I think it's going to be something that lasts for a long time. I usually try to avoid the trends. I'm just not that type of person. But because this one has been around for a while, I've really warmed up to it. And I've sewn plenty of things with puff sleeves. And I think it makes the garment extra special. So I've chosen the puff sleeve. It's gathered here on the sleeve cap, gathered right here underneath your elbow into a long slim cuff here. Love it. I think it's super beautiful. And of course, this is a type of cardigan that you're not going to wear under a jacket, because also the puff sleeve might feel uncomfortable. Maybe for some of you, might not. But I know that this is something I want to just wear on its own as the layer, not to wear under something. Back in 2022, I made the midi length, just regular long line. It gets really hot here, so I wanted to go really light, and I chose a really striking ITY. Super nice. I mean, it's not the typical print. So back then I already have a full pattern review about it, lots of sewing around it. It's just a different version. It has the bands, has the puff sleeve as well, but it's super long. Let me just show you what that one looks like now. Back then I made a size 18. Right now I'm making a size 14 Australian. So it's a little bit oversized, but I think with a cardigan, you can't really tell that much. Check out this gorgeous Going Places dress. It's a beautiful deep green velvet, stretch velvet, and the back is quite a bit exposed. Depends on the occasion. I might want a layer on top that's light and it's not making me too hot. Let's throw on my dramatic Reconnect cardigan on top. And it's awesome. The cardi, black, white, gray, it's going to go with any solid that you have. I think it goes really striking with the green. This dress has an A-line silhouette on the skirt, but the fabric is really light and drapey, so it doesn't create a lot of volume underneath the cardigan. I wouldn't do a long line cardigan on top of a dress that's really full in the skirt, like a full circle skirt or a heavier fabric. That would make the cardigan poof out. Absolutely love this puff sleeve. It's so pretty. It's got a nice little cuff here and very puffy. It looks nice and drapey because of my fabric choice here. I made this semi-fitted ponte dress about 12, 13 years ago. It is pretty short. It is a couple of inches above my knee, which was fine in my 30s, but now I'm in my 40s and I feel it's a little short. I still wear it though. And one way to tone it down is to wear a layer that's longer, because then you can just see sort of the front part of the legs and not the back while you live your life. So yeah, this is definitely not a dress I would wear on its own at the moment. I would always want something on top, just because it's a little short, but I still love it. It's just comfort levels and they change. I'm not judging anyone. It's just the way that I feel, and that's what I'm sharing basically. If you're wondering what this is a Spill the Tea blouse from Pattern Emporium as well. This is a rayon linen blend. I've got it on with jeans. It's so nice with the wide sleeves, with a little casing, nice comfy fit, nice amount of ease. And the star here is this little necktie over here, super nice. At the back, we have a little slit going on there. Such a lovely blouse for a day like this. Beautiful. I think it's really cool like that. It's black and white and gray, so it goes with everything. It's been a really nice light layer that doesn't make me that hot, but does cover me up a little bit, especially with that short black dress. It's been really helpful. But now I want to make something different. I recut it, reprinted everything all again. 14 this time. And this time I just want to make a shorter one. I want one that's at my mid hip. I think it'll be really versatile in the way that I want to style it. So let's go short. I'm keeping the puff sleeves. This one is 4 inches shorter than the shortest cut line you have for the cardigan. So I used up way less fabric. This is for knit fabrics. You need stretch here. So let me just show you the sweater knit that I chose. It's so nice. I remember to film it right as I was finishing cutting because I have nothing left. So I have a little bit there to show you. It's a sweater knit. It's very stretchy from selvage to selvage. Vertically, it's got some give. I'd say it's got about 10-15% give. So it's not that stretch that much vertically, but you don't need it to be for this one. So it's perfect. I love that print. I love that color. I'm really excited to pair this with navy things. Denim would look amazing, also with white. So I'm very excited about my fabric choice, my puff sleeves, and my shorter length. This time I'm doing buttons all the way down. There is an option there where there's 3 buttons shown just on the top where the bust area is. But I decided to do buttons all the way down. So I decided to interface the band slightly differently. So let me show you a little bit about this version, and then I'll be back to show you. This is the piece of fabric I'm going to use for the neckband. Now with this version, I'm going to do buttons all the way down. So I'm going to interface that section that's going to go down the center front, because you can't just do buttonholes on sweater knit without interfacing. It would turn out terrible. So my sweater knit here on the top going up is going to be the neckline area, the V neckline on the back that needs to stretch because it's designed to be shorter. But once you get down to the straight part, it's 1-to-1. So let me show you this neckband here. You're meant to cut 2 pieces and have a center back seam, because there's no way you can cut such a long piece. And up to here, it should be uninterfaced. It's the neckline area, but from here down, you can see it's got marks for interfacing. I'm going to do the whole thing though. Here it's just got marked 3 buttons. I want to just go the whole way, and I want to interface the whole thing. So that is my mark right there, and I'm making my cardigan shorter. So that's the length that I need. I've got still a little bit left over right there. I'd rather have leftover and then trim away than having it turn out smaller. So that's why I'm cutting it like this. Now this is my interfacing. You can see it's stretchy. It'll give it the structure, but it won't be as stiff as non-stretch interfacing. Just so that this makes sense a little bit more, let me put a front piece right there. This is the neckline, the V. That part of the band doesn't need to be interfaced because it needs to stretch to be a little smaller than this so it doesn't gape. But then once we get to the center front, from here down, it's going to be 1-to-1. So that is the area that's going to have the buttons and buttonholes, and that's why I have it like this. So I'm block fusing. I interfaced a little bit of a larger area, and now I can cut them both at the same time. So this is my band. I'm going to cut it like this. It's modified block fusing as usual. I don't want to put interfacing on this part afterwards because it could shrink the sweater knit. So that's why I do it like that. My band's going to turn out exactly the shape and size it has to be. And plus, let's say this is easier as well. So the black section is the one that's going down the center. It's going to have buttonholes and buttons, going to be more structured. And this upper area is going to be nice, soft and stretchy, and it's going to go along the neckline area. And there is a center back seam. This is not a piece that you cut on the fold. The stretchy part of the knit has to go like this. I'm super excited to sew this shorter cardigan. It's going to be like a little jacket as such, super pretty. I've kept the puff sleeves because I love them. The bottom here will be gathered onto this cuff over here. Back on the fold, simple front. My neckband is interfaced all the way around the center front because I'm going to do buttons and buttonholes all the way down. And that is the top part that's not interfaced that will go around here, and that back part right there. So for my version, I only have these pattern pieces. There are more if you want to. There's pockets, different types of sleeves, different lengths. You can even do a longer one with a ruffle on the bottom. There's just so much you can do, but I'm keeping it simple. And check out this print. It's so pretty. It's going to go amazingly with denim and anything navy. So that's my vision for this one. Here is my new Reconnect almost made, most of the main seams. So I've done shoulder seams. Now, as always, considering there'll be a big puff sleeve here and that's going to add some weight, I have stabilized the shoulders there. So they're going to be really stable. Stay tape there, fusible, super easy step to do in the beginning. I've done side seams on the serger directly there. Now, I've also already done my hem right there, and I have assembled my sleeves. Now in the previous video about the Reconnect, I show you a lot of sewing as well, and I show you how to do all of this gathering into the cuff. I've done the hem here as well. So basically I've got it mostly done. What I want to focus on now is the band. I'm going to show you how to sew the band. Once I've got the band on, I'm going to do buttonholes, all the things I need to do here. And then at the very, very end, the last step for me is going to be to set in these sleeves. This is my band. Now you could go ahead and press it, wrong sides together lengthwise. I prefer not to press it because I could end up stretching it out a little bit if you're not too careful. So I'd rather just work on it and then press it once it's sewn. So at the center back, we have a seam. I've just sewn it on the sewing machine and pressed it open so it's less bulky. You could also do it on the serger, but I would never do that. And so I've got a pin right here, and then we have pins here that are going to match shoulder seams. Then going down, this is all going to be the V part. Once we get down to the straight edge, we're going to be on the interface side, or like that. So now that we know the references, let's just get this neckline. Now on the back, I have a little mark here that marks the center back. I'm going to align this and put a pin. And then the next pins here are the shoulder seams. Now the back is shorter, the band section is shorter because it needs to be so that this doesn't gape. So when we sew it, we need to stretch the band to match the neckline under there. That's normal. That's why the top part of the band is not interfaced. You need to conserve the stretch of your knit fabric right here. Then when you go off to the front where the V section is right here, this is also a little bit shorter. So just where the interfaced area end starts, that's where we should match it up right here. So here it's also a little bit shorter. You can see we're going to stretch it to match there. And now going down the center, it's going to be 1-to-1. We're not going to be stretching anything. It's going to be just the length that it has. So I always knew mine was longer. I cut it like that on purpose. So now I'm going to align it here, make sure I've got the correct length. And right here at the bottom, I'm just going to leave enough for me to be able to close it. So I'm going to leave my seam allowance down here. So from my hem down, I've left the seam allowance. So before I do anything, I'm going to take this, right sides together, close it up and flip it, and then the bottom of the band will be finished. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to take this, align it here, and make sure to cut the exact same amount off. And that's for the other side. On this side as well, fold it, sew it, and flip it. So the band like this, you need to have done the hem already, otherwise it doesn't work. So now that's finished, that's flipped, and then this is going to align now here 1-to-1 to the bottom where the hem is, and that's how we sew it. So this has to be really well aligned right there. I'm doing this directly on the serger. For this first part, I'm doing the interface section, which is just 1-to-1. So I'm just being careful to not trim that much away with the blade, just going up, up, up straight. Then we get to the V neckline section. We have a little bit of a curve that you need to manage. And then on this section, we have the band that is not interfaced, so it's stretchy. So I'm stretching that to match up to the shoulder seam. It's a little bit shorter, but not that much. Once we get past the shoulders, we're in the back section where I've also got a little bit to stretch, keeping all the raw edges together, being super careful. Then down to the V section again, and then another little curve there, and then going straight down the other center front, all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to put my buttons here, and so I've got my cardigan on, matched up the bottom here, overlapped. This is my bust height right there. So it'll basically match the first button. Maybe I can get away with one extra button here on the top if I put them close together. That would be nice because, yeah, I'd get more coverage up here. So yeah, I always do this whenever I have buttons. Just mark the bust height, make sure there's a buttonhole right there to avoid gaping, and then figure out the spacing later on. So this was done on the serger. I only used the sewing machine to do my hems, so it was a pretty fast process. I always stabilize the shoulders, especially with sweater knits. It's not the best recovery. So this could end up stretching and deforming over time, especially with the weight of the puff sleeve. I think that's something that you shouldn't avoid. And you saw how I blocked views that neckband, slightly different. Just did the whole thing, and I'm so happy because now my neckband is really, really stable, and it was really easy to sew in those buttonholes. Very easy. I mean, it felt like I was just sewing buttonholes on a woven. So it was a very good experience. Even cutting them open felt really, really nice. So ta-da! Check this out. I bought this fabric a couple of years ago. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I've been looking at this for a long time in my stash. And I did have to match up the positioning of these a little bit. So I didn't want them to be mismatched. I tried to match them up. I did my best. So you can see these are matching up. This meant that I cut one first, and then I used one side as the pattern piece to cut the other. And I made sure all these little things matched as best as they could. At the back, I made sure to get this type of print right in the middle as well. I didn't want that to be sort of to the side there. So the cutting phase took a little while. Now the side seams, I never intended to match those because that would have been impossible really with these shapes, but at least they're at the same level, you know? So I did something. Sleeves are gorgeous. I think the puff really shines here. It's so, so beautiful. Little cuff, very easy. It's a single layer. And I have a simple hem. I'm really liking my simple hems just with a narrow zigzag at the moment. I haven't been using my twin needle. And here I have my buttons. I did them 2 inches apart. So, so nice. There is a possibility that I could wear this cardigan just on its own, you know, just with my bra underneath, because I think the coverage here is okay. So remember, from here all around, it's not interfaced because you need to stretch that to match so it doesn't gape. But then from here down, it's all interfaced and it's so nice, so stable. Seams on the serger, it's all very, very nice. It didn't take that long to make, and I was just so excited to have it. So let's see it styled with navy, denim, white. It's so nice. This is my brand new Reconnect cardigan from Pattern Emporium. I used a sweater knit. These are straight size 14 Australian. I made it shorter than the shortest version available on the pattern piece, about 4 to 5 inches shorter, and I really like this at the mid hip. I really love this print. It's so pretty and it goes beautifully over the jeans. Just dresses them up beautifully, and I decided to put buttons all the way down. I interfaced all of this section of the band. It's super, super stable. It was really easy to do those buttonholes, and check out that puff sleeve. It's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you have regular sleeves you can add on to this cardigan, but I just think these are amazing, and I don't plan to wear this under a jacket. I don't have anything under my cardigan. I think the V is not that deep. Check out that cuff there. It goes from below the elbow down, and this is gorgeous. Here you can see my cardigan open up with a little white cami underneath. Really, really nice casual outfit. The cardigan is definitely the star of the show here. Such basic items underneath, and this is amazing. Really, really enjoyed sewing this one again after sewing it a few years ago. I'd always planned to have denim in here, so instead of the jeans, I have a denim skirt, shorter, mini-ish type skirt. I love it with the sneakers. Really casual outfit, really comfortable, and also this cardigan being the light layer on top is just gorgeous. I'm really happy I saved this sweater knit for something like this because it turned out exactly like I wanted it to be. So happy with this one. Again, simple things underneath, just letting the Reconnect shine over here. Now it's something similar, but I'm just switching up the colors. This time I have a white denim skirt and a blue cami underneath. Also sneakers in other colors. As soon as I chose this fabric, I could picture these outfits in my head. Me maids I already have, and I can just mix and match. It's so much fun. I get to choose these outfits from things I already made. And this is another great casual outfit. Really, really love it. At the end, you're gonna see one slightly more dressed up, but still super casual. So happy with this, and it was such an easy sew. This time I have a dress, but it's in a knit. It's a cotton lycra that looks like denim. I have some loafers, a little belt there, and my cardigan on top, and I love this. It's also casual, but a little bit like I made an effort, which is the way I like to head out of the house. Love the combination of these brown tones in caramel with the blue tones of the denim of the skirt and the cardigan. Just gorgeous. And I could have dressed this up more with different footwear, but I kept it casual with the loafers, and this is definitely one way I'm going to wear this cardigan, and I love it so much. Anything denim here is going to be amazing. Very enjoyable, highly recommend. You've got a lot of options here. You can make it as you want. I decided to go shorter this time. I think this is going to serve me so well. It's a type of a statement cardigan, I think. I love the buttons. I initially was looking for navy buttons, but I didn't find enough. So these metal buttons like that, I think go really well, just neutral. And yeah, absolutely love it. Make sure you check it out. Look at the website. Half off is always a great time to get a pattern. I've been a little bit sick these couple of days. I tend to get a cold when it's hot. I don't understand why. Last time I got a cold was at the end of summer. It was still super, super hot. And this time as well, it's really hot and I'm just, yeah, I've had a couple of days of body aches and all of that stuff. I'm finally feeling a little bit better that I was able to sew, and I was perfectly able to sew this while feeling maybe 70%. It did not take that much of an effort. So yeah, I hope to have a good rest this weekend. So next week I can be sewing a lot. I have been sewing a lot this week as well. It's just that you haven't seen those things. You'll see them later on. That's all from me. I'll see you super soon. Make sure you check out the Reconnect and have an amazing day. Bye.